Alright folks, the Centurion Mk 1A Tier 7 Premium British medium tank. So for all intents and purposes, it's a stock Tier 8 at Tier 7, down to each and every minute details, like the dip marks, the scratch in the paint job, or even the combat it saw, like the bullet hole, or deformed toolbox that's not closing properly. So compare this to the stock Tier 8 Centurion. There is the bullet hole. There is the deformed toolbox hatch that's not closing properly. Even the smallest of details, like for example, the freckles on the muzzle brake, the horizontal lines. It's right there. Freckles, horizontal line. So even the smallest detail is present. It is exactly the same model, purely the same model. So people are speculating that this is Girls on Panzer Alice Centurion, but for now, the model is purely stock of the Tier 8. So they could place a new model later on, but for now, the stats are kind of measly, I guess. It's okay, but it's not that great. It's like an Ego 7 𝗲𝗏 in a sense from Tier 8, but that vehicle is actually different in terms of model than the actual Pershing, yada yada. But alright, I don't mind. I mean, Girls on Panzer is very selective about their copyright, so it's very hard to get a collaboration with Girls on Panzer. Whereas you see like Terminator 2, T-32 all the time or something, but yeah, that's like the third time or fourth time they're reselling the T-32M or T-832, but we're still having it right now. So for now, a stock Centurion at Tier 7. It's not the greatest. The Mark 1 turret is not that strong, only 127 frontal armor with a smaller matlet than the Mark 3 turret. So this turret is not that great. The vehicle is not as fast as the Comet or even the Cromwell for that matter, but it could be a tie-in, and we could have a British commander now instead of a German commander for light tanks, medium tanks, and heavy tanks. But I'll dump money if it's Girls on Panzer. Of course I'll dump money. You know me, I'll dump all the money. But there are some minute details in differences of the models. So for example, there's no bullet hole on the driver hatch glass, obviously. Not a deformed toolbox, that's a small detail, but notice the spare track links on the hull front. So this is left to right, right to left. But on the actual Centurion, it's left to right, left to right. So it's not exactly the same model as the actual anime, right? Slightly difference in this spare track link. Also, I noticed that there's no canvas on the back end of the turret right here. There's a canvas right here, a tarp of sorts. So differences? Possibly? Slight possibility. But the pickaxe is also another giveaway, if you can see it. Let me show you. So notice the pickaxe right here. They're a little bit further apart than the actual vehicle model. So these two are placed more close to each other, I guess. I don't know. You cannot tell by eyeballing it, but small minute detail. Also, this antenna is not as tall as the other two. Oh my god. So all the antennas are the same length, but small detail, very small. So for now, the model is not exactly the same as the anime. Not exactly, but it is very much basic. So there's not difference in like spare track links on the side skirts, none of that. So yeah, it's all purely basic Centurion, very much basic Centurion, other than the giveaway of these two spare track links. That is the only variable that I could see, but for now, yeah, it's a stock Centurion. This is after firing gun barrel length, so it's not like the short barrel 77 in a sense on the Comet. So this is after firing, not exactly the same gun barrel length, but this is normal resting gun barrel length. Yada yada. Okay. The smallest of details. So notice how the pickaxe are further apart than the actual vehicle model. Okay. God, I'm going into so much detail about each and every centimeter of the freaking model. So main stats, 17 pounder. I mean, it is higher pin than the 77 on the Comet, but I mean, this thing is not a fast vehicle. So accuracy, aim time, alright. Gun performance, like that of a Tier 6 heavy, in a sense. 10 degrees of gun depression, 20 elevation, 73 rounds of ammo, 4-man crew, fits all the Centurion, of course, but 50 kilometers per hour top speed, 15 horsepower per ton ratio, hull traverse, turret traverse, more like fat medium tank. So turret is not strong, hull armor is not strong, view range, whatever. So very much a Proto-Pershing adjacent, right? Like with the Eagle 7. You can buy the Eagle 7 in the pawn shop, but it's not that crazy of a vehicle, so I'm not expecting this to be a big hit in the meta, but it's all about the crew. It's all about the anime, so alright. Camo kinda meh for a heavy for a heavy medium tank. So it is big and chunky, but 42 tons. Could decently ram a Tier 5, but yeah, I'm not seeing anything stellar in comparison to a Comet. The Comet is faster, with less penetration, but a lot more DPM. So the Comet is more like a Cromwell in a sense. It's slower than a Cromwell, but does have the same playstyle. So rapid firing gun, penetration is not as good, but better DPM, of course, and a lot better gun depression. So make use of 12 than 10, and a lot faster traverse for the turret, and a little bit about the same as the hull, but this thing goes faster with better horsepower per ton ratio, even with the turbocharger. I don't know how I feel about this thing. It is purely a stock Centurion at Tier 7. So Eagle 7 is not that great of a vehicle. Tiger 2 is surprisingly not that bad for a premium tank for Erica, but yeah, the Proto-Pershing is not that great. Vehicles like the Object 244, like an IS Proto at Tier 6, meh, doesn't make a big splash, right? We see a lot of premium tanks that are stock of a vehicle higher tier. IS, ISU, Pershing, what else? T-34s? There's a bunch of T-34, like 1941 at Tier 4 or so. Stock vehicles from the actual tech tree. 17 pounder. Yeah, okay. Yeah, not that crazy. I don't see anything crazy about this vehicle. So let's see. DPM of Tier 7s for medium tanks are usually high if they have only like 150 millimeters of pin. Yeah, unusually high for... That's a derp gun. Okay. So the peanut thrower on the A44. Rapid firing gun, high DPM, yada yada. So 1800 DPM is kind of paltry, but it has better pin than the 150 or so. So, alright. About the same as a CS44. Or, well, not the alpha damage. Yeah, alpha doesn't compare to the higher caliber slightly. Yeah, 90 on the Eagle 7. Ah, DPM sucks. And shell velocity is not the craziest. This thing is slow. Eagle 7 is not that fast. Yo, 12.7 horsepower per ton ratio. And yeah, armor doesn't hold up on this thing. It's a Proto-Pershing, but oh. Yeah, for now the vehicle doesn't feel that great. Doesn't really, but anime tie-in, I'll definitely shell out for a anime collaboration, but yeah, Girls on Panzer collaboration doesn't happen as frequently as with stuff like the Terminator or even the Warhammer stuff, surprisingly. We just had the Warhammer reselling of the Cruise, but yeah, not the actual vehicle model. Yeah, they won't give you the 𝗖𝗲𝘁𝘂𝗿𝗂 Ultramarine camo style or the Death Guard or even the Orcs. They won't give you that skin back. No way in hell. Licensing on the Warhammer skins are pretty rare. I don't even see them coming back. I saw the batch check came back for the premium shop. I think it did came back for the batch chat skin, but not the actual 𝗖𝗲𝘁𝘁 or 430U or STB. So those are, yeah, once in a lifetime, but at least we saw 2 iterations of Girls on Panzer collaboration. Possibly a third. Possibly, but equipment wise, rammer, optics, turbocharger, the basic setup. It's not that great of a vehicle, by all means, but rammer is a must. I think turbocharger is also a must. But you could also put vertical stabilizer for the gun while poking up and down a hill, I guess. But yeah, let's just compare this to the Eagle 7. It should be the same versatile class, but assault. Alright, it doesn't matter at tier 7, but yeah, this thing has no armor to assault. So yeah, rammer, optics. Optics doesn't even get boosted. Just basically there. Not like tier 8s, but turbocharger kind of necessary for this vehicle too. Yeah, 15 horsepower per ton ratio is not great. Not great, but it could work, but doesn't compete with the Comet. The Comet is so much faster with more DPM. So for now, yeah, it feels like a Proto-Pershing. It really does. But Proto-Pershing is so slow to rev too, so that's out of the question. Does have a bigger punch. Yeah, about the same DPM. Yeah, you want rammer, optics, turbocharger. Field mods, there's no difference at tier 7. Anything tier 8 or below are practically the same. So better traverse or less penalty. Better traverse. The traverse on this thing is not that crazy. It's a combat medium tank. It's a slightly assault medium tank. It's still versatile, but it's more like slow versatile. So yeah, better traverse. Dispersion while moving or aim circle size. 0.35 is okay. It's not the craziest, but I think you're moving a little bit more back and forth. Even with the crappy turret armor, you're still hauled down 12 degrees. I thought it was 10. It says 10 on the Supertest debut page. It's actually 12? Interesting. Is it 12 for the stock Centurion? I wonder. Give me a split second. I need to make sure. I mean, granted, coming from the Comet, you would expect 12 degrees at gun depression, but maybe it's actually 10. How much gun depression do you have? Can I even mount the freaking 20-pounder with the stock turret? 10! Ah, interesting. It gets 2 more degrees of gun depression compared to the stock Centurion, but obviously differences in the accuracy and DPM, yada yada. But alright, fine, that's fine, I guess. Dispersion while moving, still kind of important, right? Dispersion while moving. But let's go back to field mods. And finally, camo or reverse speed. I would say one of the which, but camo is already not that great. Reverse speed is also not that crazy. Actually, 20 is not that bad. Better camo. Camo doesn't hurt. Yeah, better camo. If you have turbocharger, you'll have about the same reverse speed, even with the defect or deficit. Go with better camo. But for now, it's a stock Centurion at tier 7. We spending 15 minutes talking about stock vehicle. So basically, the only selling point is the anime. And if they're doing the anime, they'll probably give a skin later on. So that's what happened with the Tiger 2 or BT-42. They give the skin out like close to the actual debut date. So they won't leak the actual skin. They'll just put a basic model similar to the T-32M or M32. T32M or M103M. So yeah, they won't show you the actual vehicle model with the Girls on Panzer collaboration. So they won't show you the actual model. But we noticed that the spare track links are that which away on the turret, forecasting the actual collaboration. But BT-42 is not even in the game basically, so obviously I thought Girls on Panzer collab, definitely. But yeah, the actual skin looks a little bit cartoonish with the texture model of the shading of the colors in a sense. But for now, we'll just have to wait. So 2025, possibly during summer. The last movie came out in October of 2023. The English version, the subtitle version, technically subtitle version, came out this year in April, or was it February? So the next movie should come out around October of next year of 2025. So we could see this possibly during late 2025 or maybe even early 2026 with the English version. But I don't know. That's finale 5 of the movie. There are different parts of the same movie, so they fight different teams, and each movie is like 2 battles or so on 2 different fronts. But yeah, it takes a while. But for now, I want to hope for our Girls on Panzer collaboration. But for now, the vehicle is kind of meh. So rating wise, it's like with the Eagle 7. You'll be outperformed by every other medium tank. It's like a 4. I mean, it still works. And granted, it plays more like a Tiger in a sense, where armor is not a thing. So the thing about the Tiger 1 is it has a lot of health and a lot of DPM for a Tier 7 heavy tank. The armor is kind of crap, right? Other than against Tier 5s or sometimes Tier 6, but angling helps a little. It's still only 100 on the hull and turret front, so it's all about the DPM and the gun. This vehicle doesn't have the pin, so it plays like a 𝗲𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗄𝗏. The closest representation I could think of is the Eagle 7 𝗲𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗄𝗏 T26E3. So it's like a 4. It's alright. It's fine. I don't mind it because I love my Pershing. That's fine, but the gun doesn't perform that well. So for now, it's like a 4. Well, there you go, folks. Centurion Mark 1A. Stock turret. I remember grinding the stock Centurion and having a terrible time with this turret. Such a terrible turret. And you cannot mount the 20-pounder with it too. So you have to wait for the turret and then the actual gun to do an actual dent of damage. But yeah, it's like a 4 out of 10. Well, there you go, folks. So as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.